How you doing, Kamari?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. How would you describe this year's camp experience for you and your progression playing at cornerback spot?
I say this camp has been it's been pretty good. You know, for us as a team and myself, you know, we've all been working to get better. You know, trying to get more connected each day. We spend a lot of time together in camp, and I say that for camp, it's been a lot of great progress to get to where we are now, but we still got a long way to go.
What is the competition like at that corner spot? Obviously, you, the Island, Smith-Dale. What is that competition like, and how is it making you better?
The competition level is at an all-time high. I mean, you know, it's just like every other position. You know, we compete with each other, we compete with ourselves, we want to make each other better. You know, ultimately make the team better.
Kirby said last fall that you'd raised a lot of eyebrows when you came in. I think you weren't an early enrollee, so you came in fall camp. What were you able to do so well that drew that public praise from Coach Smart, do you think, last fall as an incoming freshman?
I just say, you know, I wasn't really, you know, looking for praise or anything. You know, I was just playing the game that I love and, you know, just trying to give my best effort and trying to help the team in whatever way I could.
What's the challenge like for all you guys to be opposite Healy to replace a guy like Derek?
You know, I say DK was a really good player. He taught us a lot. So I say that, you know, with Keely there, we know the rest of the game. We just got to go out there and compete with each other, you know, learn from Coach Fran, Coach Mark, everybody else, Coach Muschamp, and, you know, just go out there and do it.
What was the reason you missed the G-Day game?
The G-Day game, I was battling that concussion.
Oh, yeah, concussion. How tough was that? I mean, was it hard to miss that opportunity, or did you feel like you know, kind of put a lot of hay in the barn in those earlier practices in the spring?
Well, you know, it's definitely any time that you have to miss because of injury is hard because, you know, we put so much into the game. You know, me personally, I love it. So, you know, missing that was a hard pill to swallow. But, you know, it was for my safety and the team's, you know, the help the team out.
You mentioned Darion a few minutes ago. Are there any specific lessons you took from playing behind a guy with that much experience?
I say a guy like him, you know, guys like DK and Keely, those guys last year, they showed a lot of composure within the snaps, you know. Not too high whenever things are going good, but not too low whenever, you know, bad plays do happen. So just showing that composure, you know, that you gotta forget and play the next snap.
What's the importance of Christopher Smith in the secondary?
Chris is one of the leaders of the secondary. He's very vocal. You know, he understands his assignments. You know, he understands how to communicate with us, and he's very talented. And I've learned a lot personally from Chris.
Are there any lessons you feel like you've taken from last season, going through a full year, and just the grind and what it takes?
I would say last season, you know, with us winning the national championship and everything, I say that, you know, with all those leaders, all those guys that left, you know, to the draft, I say that, like I said earlier, we have the recipe. Like, we know what it takes to sit back and watch those guys day in, day out, you know, put in the work, you know, how they carry themselves on and off the field. So I say that's the biggest lesson I learned.
What was your role? What roles did you play? Were you on different special team games? Did you get any snaps in? When you think back to last year, what was on the scrapbook, so to speak?
Last year, you know, I'd say I was on various different special teams. You know, whatever they asked me to do, I was really trying to do it, you know, to get on the field.
So, like, which ones were you on?
I was on PBR, kickoff, punt, KOR. Yeah.
You personally, how do you think you've grown under Fran Brown?
Coach Fran has taught me a lot. You know, Coach Fran is he's a very upfront guy. He's very honest, and he's very passionate about the game. So, you know, just me seeing that passion every day with him, he going in, it makes me want to play harder.
What's your level of confidence when it comes to, you know, your job of coverage? I mean, getting ready to cover these Oregon Ducks. How much has Georgia's receiving corps kind of helped you in that regard? You know?
I say, in my opinion, we go against the best receivers in the country every day. So, you know, whenever my time is, you know, step between those lines in the game day, I feel really confident knowing that I've been going against the best guys all year.
What's the biggest improvement you've seen from the start of your freshman year to now in your game?
I'd say that I've been working on myself personally, just trying to mature and become more of a leader.
In the secondary, what have y'all seen out of Malachi so far, you know, coming in?
You know, Malachi, he's just like the rest of the freshmen. Malachi, he's a really good player. He's showing a lot of potential. He's very smart, very athletic, very talented, which is like the other freshmen coming in.
He had a pretty good hit maybe in the scrimmage the other day. Can he lead the lumber?
Yes, sir, definitely.
There's going to be a lot of comparisons between this year's defense and last year's. Is that something the team invites, or is that something that you try to avoid?
We really, we're not really into comparisons or anything like that. We just try to be the best that we can be. This is a different team, so we just got to go with that mindset that we're trying to be the best team that Georgia can be.
Coming in during the summer, was there a moment last year where you really started to feel comfortable in the defense? Was it last season? Was it the spring? When did you really start to feel comfortable?
I say I started to feel really comfortable sometime during the season, just being around a lot of older guys and, them helping me going upstairs and getting extra film with coach and stuff like that. That's when I really started to feel comfortable.
Was there a game you got more, SEC game you got more work in than others? When you think back to when you got a lot of body work at corner last year.
One game that obviously comes to mind is the Vanderbilt game. But I got a good bit of work in a couple games, but I can't, not off the top of my head.
How important are those? We hear all Kirby talk all the time about live game reps. Obviously, you guys replicate as much as you can out here, but just how important were those snaps, and how much can you get better playing on games, maybe than practices even?
I say game reps are important, but I think ultimately that the practice reps before the games, those are the most important because the practices that we go through, they make the games easy. So, maybe you go to practice and you see those plays 10, 15 times, and then when you get to the game, it's easy. The game comes slower to you.
How comfortable do you think you're going to be, a top 15 matchup if you're on an island out there having to win your matchup?
Like I said earlier, I'll be very confident knowing that I've been preparing and that my teammates believe in me, my coaches believe in me. If my name gets called to go out there, I'll be ready.
We saw Aaron yesterday. He admitted he had some nerves. AD yesterday said that he had some nerves doing interviews. You seem pretty relaxed. Did you do a lot of interviews in high school, or have you done a lot of media work before?
I've done a couple interviews, but not too many. I just try to calm down and relax.
You think Dan Lanning knows your strengths and weaknesses, that he can, target you on a certain play or something like that?
I'm not really sure. Coach Lanning, he's a great coach, but like I said, we have great coaches here as well. So I know the coaches here are going to put us in the best position to be successful.
Kamari, I know you're originally from Savannah, right?
Yes, sir.
How old were you when you and your family moved to Alabama?
I was in 8th grade, so
Okay.
about, I think, 14 years old or something.
Okay. Just curious, I know Nolan's originally from Savannah too. Did you know him back in those early days
Yes,
at all?
Nolan was a little bit older than me, so whenever we were playing Little League, he was always one of those older guys that I kind of looked up to. But once we got here, it was kind of like, it was like small world with me, him, Warren, all coming back to Georgia.
Where would you have gone to high school if you stayed in Savannah?
I would have probably went to BC.
DC, okay, that's what I thought.
What was the recruitment with Alabama and Auburn? Was there interest either way?
Yes, I had offers from both, but I really don't forget about recruiting, but I know I have offers from both and a little bit of interest in both places.
So what led you here instead of one of those two places?
I say Coach Martin and his staff, they really recruited me well. And I'm originally from Georgia, so I kind of wanted to come back home and play for the home team.
Where do you feel like you've grown the most since you came to Georgia, and specifically in this past fall camp? Where do you feel like you've grown?
I feel like I've grown in with my. I feel like I've grown with my maturity level. Trying to become more mature and detailed throughout the snaps, becoming a more vocal guy, more leadership on that base, on that part.
You mentioned wanting to go back home, and I know Nolan talked a lot about wanting to win a national championship for the home state. How much did that mean to you, getting that ring last year for the state of front?
That was probably one of the best feelings in the world. Just winning it. First time in a very long time, and for all the fans and for me personally, my family. Everybody, all my family's from Georgia, so just to put a smile on their faces. That's something I'll never forget.
Did it mean a little bit more for you being from Tuscaloosa, having spent that time there?
No, not really. I wouldn't say that played a part. It was more just for my teammates, my coaches, and my family.
A lot of talent came in this last class, Singletary, Humphrey, Everett. I was wondering if that has caused you to step up as like a mentor position or something like that. Has that affected your leadership on the team with already having that much talent coming in under you?
All three of those guys, they're really good, and they're really learning well. So, me personally, I did want to step up and, make sure that I'm going along with Keely and Nile and all the other guys and, doing stuff right, doing things the right way, just so that they know how to, come in.
You've heard a lot of praise both last fall camp and then this fall camp. Why do you think you've been able to consistently find success this time of year when it does seem to be a little bit difficult, and obviously the weather is well good for it?
I say, whenever this time of the year comes, it's like you got to switch your mind a little bit. You got to, lock in, laser focus. And I say that, just keeping a strong relationship with God and my family and my coaches, and just locking in, just trying to be the best person that I can be each day.
What do you think people that tune in to watch this game and know that Georgia's defense had like 7 or 8 NFL draft picks? What are they going to see from this defense with this new cast of guys, and some holdovers that are, pretty impressive credentials in their own right?
From the defense and as a team, they're going to see, a team that's connected, composed, we're resilient, we're tough.
What about the talent level? How is it compared to what just left?
We got a lot of talent on this team.
What is the hunger like among guys like yourself who on the team last year played a role over behind guys like Darian or Jordan? What is that hunger like among guys trying to prove themselves now that you're replacing some of those guys who have left?
I just say, I say that the hunger is always going to be there. I mean, whether you start, whether you don't. But from a competitor standpoint, you're always going to want to be the best person that you could be and help the team win in whatever way.
You talk about where you have grown since coming to Georgia. Where do you think you still have to grow?
I still have room to grow in every aspect of my game. So that's why we have practice. Coach tells us things that we need to work on, and just go in there and try and get 1% better every day.
As a DB, what would you say are your biggest assets?
My biggest assets are probably, I take a lot of pride in, my football instincts and knowing my job and, where to go and, where my help is and stuff like that.
2 more questions.
Knowing that there was a starting spot open opposite of Keeley, how much has that competition fueled you this offseason, to get better?
I'd say it fueled me. But even if there wasn't a starting spot, I'd still be working out there the same way. Because for one, I love the game, and it means a lot to me. So.
What's your favorite football memory growing up in Savannah?
Growing up in Savannah, I played for the Savannah Stars, and I remember, I want to say 8 and under, 10 and under, we won a championship. That was probably my favorite memory.